Hello YouTube and friends, I'm Komla from Ghana, a beautiful country in West Africa. I'm a DBA and system admin. I'm also a cloud and IT infrastructure engineer. As promised, we're going to install MySQL on Docker. We shall start with Docker installation by resolving issues that people used to face. So let's get started. So the appearance of my putty is a little bit small, so I'm going to make it bigger. It is 10 points for now, the font, so I'm going to make it 14. Okay, and I click on apply. So it's now bigger, so everybody can see very well what is going on the screen. Hostname CTL is going to give us some details about the server. So I'm using Docker MySQL and Oracle Linux 7.8. I'm trying to use df-h. Every Linux administrator should know this command to know all the disks that are used and the mount points. Now I'm going to copy the link that will help us to have access to the Docker site where the document that we're going to follow to install the Docker on our system or on our Linux system, Oracle Linux. So we're going to paste it in our browser. So this app we have for Mac, there's for Windows users, and we have for Linux. So we're going to click on Docker for Linux. So we're trying to scroll down. Now you see CentOS here. CentOS is there for the CentOS, Linux CentOS is there for Red Hat, is there for Oracle Linux. So because we're going to install it on Oracle Linux, we choose the CentOS. Now we're trying to ping Google. Before we continue anything, we're trying to see if the internet is working on my machine. So I'm trying to ping Google. And we can see that Google is not pinging. So we're trying to make it ping so that we can continue our work. So we're going to the etc resolve.conf. Then we're trying to edit the etc result.conf. It's empty, so we are trying to make it work. So here, what we're going to do is to put our gateway IP here. My gateway IP is 192.168.136.1. I made a mistake here. I put 128. So take note, is the gateway IP, but not the server IP, followed by the 8888 and 8844. Now if we try this, the first one is not working, you go to the second one. If the second one is not working, you go to the third one. So we save it, and now we're trying to ping Google again to see if it is up. Alright, I can see we can ping Google. Then so we can move on. Let's clear the screen. And now we can try to see if there's an old version of Docker which is installed in our system by running this command that we copying, and then we paste it in our system. So as you can see, there was no Docker which is installed. If there was a Docker, it will uninstall it or it will remove it from the system. Now, before we continue with the installation, we are going to install yum-utils, which is very important for our installation. Okay, uMintil is installed. So we move on and we're trying to create our repo, Docker repo that will help us to install Docker in our system. So we copy this command and then we paste it and then we run it. Alright, you have our Docker, which is in our system. Docker repo, sorry, which is in our system. So now we are going to run the command that will install Docker for us. So we're going back to our PuTTY and we are running the command. This is the error that we have, that people were having. So this is how we are going to resolve this issue. So we are going to the Docker repository and we are going to edit it. We are going to edit this line and then try the installation again. So we're going to yam.repo.d, then we do the ls to see the repos that are available. Then we enter this, we go to this Docker to edit the file. So as you can see, for the Docker CE stable, we have base URL with the HTTPS, which is there. Then what we do is that we just add a hash so that it will be ignored. Then we copy it and we paste it down. And then we edit so that if there's something wrong, we can always come back and work on it. So we are going to remove the $release var, and then we replace it by 7. Then we save it and we try to run it again. Now we copy the Docker, yum install Docker. We come and paste it again. And bingo, it's working this time. Now, before we say that we are going to install Docker with errors that are resolved. So I believe we are all waiting for errors to pop up on the screen, and together we try to solve these errors. So the errors that the dependency that are needed for the installation, we are now going to try and install them on the system. So we copy them and paste it in a notepad and start resolving it one by one. So we copy all those packages that are needed. Then we are going to try to install them to resolve them one by one. So if we are also installing, so here we copy the first one, we paste it in the browser, then there it is. So we copy that one, the first one. We are trying to download it and paste it in the system and install it in our system. So this is the first package. So we download the binary. We have two binary. We have two packages here, the binary and the source package. So we are taking the binary package. We copy it and we paste it in the system, but you use yum install. Then we paste the URL. So let's clear the screen so that everything gonna be all right. Yum install. Then we put the link. Now, if you are installing, you are using here you are using Oracle Linux 7.6.8. If you are using 7.6, 7.5, 7.7, 7.9, 8, any version you are using and you are having errors, please state it in the comments so that all of us we can we can work together and see how we can help. So this is the fuse overlay that we are trying to install in the system. So we also copy the binary package, we copy it, we come back to the Linux system, we paste it there, yum install. Okay, this one is also asking for another package to be installed before they can install that one, the first package. So a package is required to install that package. So we copy it, we do the same, we come back to Google, we paste it. Alright, we open this page, we come down and then we take the RPM 64.rpm. It send us back to this place. Then we go down and then we take the binary package, we copy it and we come and paste it using yum, of course. So like I was saying, if you have errors while you are installing your Docker in your system, and if you are having errors or problems, just paste it, put it in the comments so that all of us, we can help you resolving your issues. Alright, now that we install that package, we can come back to Fuse, and then we try to install Fuse. Where is it? Is here. Alright, so the binary package for Fuse, we copy it, then we paste it here. Yum install, then you put the URL, then good, it's also installed. After installing the package that is needed for us to be able to install this one. So the last package is SELUNIX 2.4. Alright, here they are saying bigger than or equal to 2.74. So when I was installing it for the first time, I installed the 2.4, the 2.74, and when I was going to run the welcome world, Docker welcome world, is giving me error. So after research, I see that I have to install something which is bigger than 2.74. So to avoid that error when I'm trying to run the Docker welcome hello world, I use 2.95. So you can use anything beyond 2.74. So we're searching for it. I'm searching for it. Alright, I have it here. SELUNIX 2.95. So if you use 2.74, you may have error when you are running the hello world from Docker. So I advise you to use the so what I do first, I copy the link, the path to the link, then I come back to the link itself, the package itself, I copy that one too, and then I paste it. Then I have the full length, the full path to the package. So now I'm installing the package. Yes. Alright, it installed. So all the packages that the system is asking for are all installed. So let's go back and run the command again, the Docker command again, to install it and see what will happen. And voila, Docker is installing. I'm very happy to see this one to resolve this issue. So 424 megabytes, that's the size. So as I was saying, if you have errors, you can put it here so that all of us, we can resolve it. Yes. So as you can see, the installation is completed successfully. So we are going to test it. So but before we test Docker, we're going to start Docker service. So systemctl start Docker. Alright, it started. So now let's see the status of Docker. Systemctl status Docker. As you can see, Docker is up and running. That's very good. Now we can run the hello world Docker command. Alright, it's done. So we have achieved whatever we want to do. So hello world is there and Docker is installed and working correctly. Thank you very much. See you for the next video. Thank you.